Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today is still April 20th of 2021. We're going to do part 2, the planting of our unboxed Serissa. Right now the temperature dropped again. It's 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. Our Serissa needs full sun, likes a well-draining soil. And before I plant any plant, I always check the soil that the tree comes in. And I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It has sand mixed in with bark. So my mixture is going to be 1 part worm castings, 1 part peat moss, 1.5 parts torpedo sand, 1.5 parts of Repti Bark, and 1 tablespoon of Mykos. Now the Repti Bark is 100% pure fir bark. If you can smell it, it smells like the woods. The minute I opened the bag up, man, it reminded me of walking in the woods. A beautiful smelling bark, but it's a good bark. Look how nice it looks. So, here's the way our soil will look. The way I mixed it. So it's a nice fast draining soil. This is the container I'm using. Even though it's got drainage holes in it, they're pretty big, so I got a screen in there. And I think that would fit this plant. So let's take it out of the bag. But before we do that, I think we're going to keep either this side or this side as the front, or like this. So we might have to prune off this branch and this branch here that's growing straight through, but we'll worry about that after we do the planting. Take the tree out of the bag. Get rid of our bag. And I wish you could feel how nice this soil is and how beautiful the roots look in there. All we're going to do is take our chopstick and just work the soil out of the roots real good. Now, this being a nice fast draining mix with all the bark in there and the sand, I wish you can smell this. It smells like the woods. Too bad YouTube didn't have smell-o-vision. You would really think you're out on the woods after you've taken apart this tree from this mix. I had to wait a year to get this because these things sell out fast. You can see how beautiful the trunk is and everything. For $5.95, you can't go wrong. I think it was like 10 something shipping. Come out to like 16 something total. But it's a pretty good tree. The roots look nice. The smell of the soil is beautiful. And you can see all the bark in here. All the little bark that they planted it in. Now they probably don't use Repti bark. They probably got a whole thing of bark for themselves. But you can see how beautiful the root system is. So what I'm going to do is rinse the tree off in water, get most of that soil off. So we can see how our roots look. And you can see the beautiful root system on this tree. Now, there are some tangled ones like knotted, but you can still see it's in the rooting ball. So we're going to have to try to break through that to see what our roots look like. Just trying to get that out. I mean, it's got a nice strong root base, but we want to get a nice radial root base. It's got like 1, 2, 3, almost four fan-shaped roots, but they're thick. But there's something to get out. Now this one here is on a curve, so we can dip and clip that one off, because I don't like the way that one is curving down. We don't have to take the full curve off. We're just gonna, you can see how it's curving, so we're gonna just take that much off and pull it out if we can. It's a real tight cluster root ball. Tight like you wouldn't believe. So we're just going to cut it off here. To unwrap these roots is going to be a Herculean challenge here. But what are you going to do? Just got to bear with it. If I can get this apart. They're real tight in there. It's like they're really grown together. So this one here, I think I can pull it out. Yep. That was a bad one. Bad root. Curled too much down. So we got a little wound there, but that'll heal over. And that'll probably throw out some more roots for us. But this thing is really, really pushed in. So what we're going to do is dip and clip these tangled ones here. And we don't want to take too much off of it, because as you can see they pruned it already, but we can still do a little more pruning. So what I'm going to do is take this branch off because it's growing inward. This one's growing inward. Now, if we take, this one's growing inside, because we want them to fan out. You don't want them to grow all inside. And I think this way. I think this would be a better looking front for the tree, but let's take that one out. That one's growing inside. We want to air it out, the canopy here a little bit. That one's growing out. This one's growing in. There's another one that's growing inside. I don't know if you can see it. So, cuttings, I don't know, maybe they'll root. Put them on the side. So now what we'll do is we'll take our soil, let our tree sit in the water, and we'll put in our soil in the pot, hold down our screen, now sure we could have put it in a smaller pot, but I want this tree to grow. We'll worry about cutting anything else off later. Let's get this tree to grow into a nice pot. So I think this would be a nice front. So let's fan out our root base the best we can. Push it into the soil real good. Now you can see it's got a slight lean, so we're going to offset it in the container. Make sure our roots are fanned out. Anything that's growing too much, we're going to clip it. Take it out. And now I'll put in our soil. There we go. Now, before I do anything else, the part where we got ripped a little bit on the bark, we're going to hit it with some Azos beneficial bacteria, so help it to grow some new roots. If you can see that, we got a nice shot of that in there. And we'll get a little more soil. Now what we're going to do is work the soil into the roots real good. Pack it in real good, real nice, get it in there. We got our Azos in there real good to help with the rooting along with the Mykos Beneficial bacteria. We got a little rock here. You can either use a dark rock with the dark pot, or we can use our light rock here. I think the dark one will hold out good with this planting. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit of soil under the rock, but around the rock so it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of the soil. We got our roots tamped in good with our chopstick. We got the Azos in there. We got a nice looking soil. And the good thing about the Repti Bark in with the soil, looks like you're in the woods with all the wood shavings around the tree. I mean, it's different, it's nice. Make sure we got it in real good. And don't worry. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. We learn by our mistakes. I make lots of mistakes. But I learn. That's the only way you learn how to do it. If you don't attempt it, you're never going to be able to do it. So just try. Don't be afraid. And the reason why I tell you about these different nurseries is because I want you to save money. If you like the plant, I know that they're trustworthy and their plants are real good. This plant, I had to wait a year for it, so I put my name on the waiting list. And I finally got it from last year to this year. So the minute that was up for purchase, I bought one. Because these trees go fast, especially with a trunk like that. Okay. Now, we'll just wet it down a little bit. And then we'll water it in real good. Oh, I wish you can smell the bark, how it gives us a nice foresty smell. Just water it in real good. I'm going to give it a nice shaded location. I'm not going to put it outside yet because it's way too cold. And this bark gives this tree a nice appearance, real nice. I think we can add a little more soil. Put your hands in there, get your hands dirty. You're not doing bonsai unless you get your hands dirty. Fill in the shallow spots. Put it in, and I'll make out a tag later for this. I don't know, there's an old wives' tale that if you look down at a tree and if it grows in a clockwise circle, it'll grow stronger than if it grows in a counterclockwise circle. That's an old wives' tale. I don't know how true it is, but this one doesn't look like it's doing that. I can't tell any difference on it, whether it's growing in a clockwise or counterclockwise circle, but be it as it may, this is our tree. Our nice looking Serissa. Let's see if it grows. Time will tell. There it is. Got a little rock in there. The nice forest look with the bark. I love this Repti Bark. Boy, I wish you could smell this stuff. It's really, really good. So, I'm done for today. After I clean up, put the fish to sleep, I'm going to put up a fireplace on the old YouTube. A little bit of instrumental Christmas carols because of the cold weather here. It's supposed to drop to 0 tonight, 32 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, or 0 Celsius. So I'm going to pull up a book, get in my favorite chair, make myself a hot cup of tea, and relax for the rest of the evening. And I hope you can do the same. And if you want to know where I got this tree from, I'll put it in the comments, or I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is right there where I got it from. And they stand by their trees. I know they're pretty good. Mind you, I don't buy these. I buy these trees. I don't get them for free. So I try them, and if they're good, I put them on YouTube. So take care, everybody, and thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. And one more thing. Thank you to all the subscribers out there. I think I hit 150. That's more than I could ever expect. So take care, everybody. Enjoy a hot cup of tea, a good book, sit in your favorite chair, put on the fireplace on the YouTube, sit back and relax. Have a nice evening. Take care, everybody.